Hello everyone. This week we are drawing the Pyramids of Giza located in Egypt. And we are going to draw two of the pyramids and we are going to attempt to make them look three-dimensional or like a triangular prism or like a pyramid, however you want to think about it. If you're in kindergarten or first grade and that's a little too challenging for you, it is okay to just draw it like a triangle. So just know that going into it. But if you want to try and challenge yourself and give yourself a little bit of a push, that is okay too. But if you get into it and it's a little too hard, it is okay to just leave it like a triangle. But this part you're seeing on the side, that's where it gives it a little bit of a three-dimensional look and makes it like a triangular prism, which is what the Pyramid of Giza looks like, or Pyramids of Giza look like. And you'll need paper, pencil, Sharpie if you have it, and something to color with. So let's get our stuff together and get started. Okay, so starting out, I have my paper, I have my pencil, I have my sharpener, and I have my eraser. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold our paper in half twice. So I'm going to fold it in half. Sometimes people call this a hamburger fold. And then I'm going to fold it in half the second time. Make good creases. Then I'm going to open it up, smooth it out so it can lay flat. And for this project, our paper is going to be going side to side. Now, the first thing we need to draw is our horizon line. Your horizon line is where the sky and the ground come together or touch. And it's not going to be perfectly straight because in Egypt you have the sand. And kind of like with snow, the wind blows the sand around and it doesn't lay perfectly flat and perfectly straight. You have what they call sand dunes, and those are like little hills for the sand. So it's going to be right around where this middle fold goes across, but we're going to start off a little bit above the fold, and we're going to work our way down a little bit below the fold. We're going to cross the middle fold. We're going to work our way up again, and just very slowly work our way back up and off the paper. Okay, so it's very subtle. Then we're going to begin making the pyramids, and we are going to draw a triangle right here in the middle of our paper, and it's going to crisscross over this middle fold. And actually the exact middle of the paper where the two middle folds crisscross. Now you have a choice. You could draw this freehand and just draw the triangle the best you can, or you can get a ruler out and try to draw it straight. It is completely and totally up to you. Okay, I am going to grab a ruler real quick so I can show you both ways. So that way, if you have a ruler at home and you want to use a ruler, you can. And then if you don't, or you prefer to do it freehand, you have that option as well. Okay, so I went and grabbed a ruler, and this is a nice metal ruler. So on two sides, it could be any kind of ruler. And if I wanted to do it freehand, it would be a good idea. Well, either way, whether you're doing it freehand or with a ruler, it's a good idea to pick a point where you want the triangle to start and just make a dot. So you have a starting point, and make a line where it's going to come down. Okay, so there would be one side of the triangle, and then you would have the other side of the triangle. Okay, and notice how I did it really light and sketchy. All right, and that, yeah, I think that would work. And then you could go back over it and make it darker. Now with a ruler, You don't have to be quite as nervous with the ruler because the ruler is going to make sure you get it nice and straight. And I think I'm actually going to make the line go out a wee bit further. And I'm going to stop right on the sand. And I'm going to clean up those other lines that I had on there. And so there is my first triangle. So I have my triangle and I have my horizon line. Okay, now as you know, there's more than one Egyptian pyramid. It's not just sitting there all by itself. So now I'm going to make another pyramid, like it's this little friend sitting right there next to it. So again, you want to make a point. I'm going to make this one just a little bit taller. So I'm going to make a dot right here. So again, you would have a line coming down and a line coming down. So if you want to draw freehand, then you could go ahead and you could go over those lines and you could make them darker. If you want to use a ruler, you could line it up with the ruler and make it darker. And of course, before you do that, you want to make sure you got it in the right place, because as you know, if you make the dark really line, if you make the line really dark, it's hard to erase it. All right, so now I have the beginnings of my two pyramids. Now, this is where you want to try and make it look three-dimensional. Now, if you are in kindergarten or first grade, this part may be a little confusing for you, and you might want to skip it. You might want to leave your pyramids just like this, and they look great like this. You could do that. If you're in second, third, and fourth grade, I think you can handle this part. And you want to make it look three-dimensional. You're going to make it look like a triangular prism. You're going to have this part here and this part here. Now, if you're in kindergarten and you're thinking, oh, I can do that, that's not a problem, then yeah, you can go for that. Okay, so I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to line it up with that same dot and the sand and make a line there. And look at that. Boom! Triangular prism. And then I'm going to come over here, line it up with that same dot again, and shazam! Triangular prism. Isn't that cool? And it's all nice and three-dimensional. And look how super easy that was, too. You know, I think even all our kindergarten friends can do that, and first grade friends. So I hope you give it a try. All right, so now we are going to make a mirage. Now, do you know what a mirage is? A mirage is when you're in the desert. Because what's not in the desert? What do you rarely ever see in the desert, but you really wish you had? Water. You're in the desert and you're looking and you're searching and you need water, but way off in the distance you think you see a pond of cool, delicious, refreshing water, and then you get closer and it's not there. Okay, so we are going to draw, coming out of this corner here, a nice, refreshing little oasis of water. And who knows, maybe it could be real. I've never been to this part of the world. So this is going to be water. This is all going to be sand. Obviously, these are pyramids. And now we're going to draw some palm trees. Okay, first I'm going to draw the sun up here in the sky. Now, we're not going to draw one of those quarter suns. We're not going to draw a sun with a happy face. We're going to draw a sun that's just a circle in the sky. Now, if you want to trace around something, you can. Or if you just want to draw the circle on your own, you can do that too. So that's going to be our sun. And we're not going to do the rays on it or anything, because this is a nicer picture. This is a little more of a grown-up, mature picture. Okay, so I've got my sun, my pyramids, my sand, my water. Now I'm going to do some palm leaves over here in the corner, like they're just kind of peeking in. I'm going to have a line coming in there. And then I'm going to do a jagged edge. See how I'm doing that? And then I'm going to do another one coming in over here. Make that connect there. And a little jagged edge. So it's like there's a palm tree over here growing. And now you're just seeing a little bit of it peeking in here. And then let's have another kind of like a little leaf is coming in here. If you hear that, that is first grade eating lunch next door. I'm so lucky I get to hear the sounds of it. All right, and then maybe one more. All right, so that's just a little bit of a palm tree peeking in there. And then over here, we're going to get to see more of a palm tree. We're going to have the bottom of it. Okay. Then we're going to draw the trunk of the palm tree. It's going to be bent. Okay. I'm going to erase where the horizon line goes through the tree, because the tree's not made out of glass. Okay. And then I'm going to draw the leaves on the tree. Okay. Then I'm going to assume over the top is going to be a smooth line, and then the bottom is a jagged line. Okay, now see how that line from the pyramid goes through it? I'm going to erase that, because again, it's not made out of glass. Okay, and then I'm going to make another set of leaves. Smooth, smooth, jagged. It's the weirdest looking leaf. Try to bend that a little bit there. All right, and then another set of leaves. Smooth, smooth, and jagged. Jagged. All right, and then maybe one little lonely leaf right here. All right. And then in the middle, to make this middle not look quite so strange, I make little coconuts. All right, another coconut here. Now I got some stuff that's in the middle of the coconuts there that I don't want, so I'm erasing that. And then I'm going to put, you know how pine trees, are not pine trees, palm trees. These are the exact opposite of pine trees. There we go. So there I have my little palm tree, my oasis, my sand, my pyramids, my sun, and then another palm tree over here. And wow, I felt like we drew that super duper fast. Okay, so now it is Sharpie time. We're going to take our Sharpie and we are going to Sharpie over all of this. So you can hit pause and Sharpie your picture. I am going to fast forward and Sharpie my picture, and then we can discuss coloring it. Okay? Okay, so I Sharpied it, and I erased any of the eraser that you can still see. Don't skip that step. It is a very important step. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to color my picture. I'm going to fast forward while I color. You can hit pause and color yours. You can color with anything you have. Crayons, markers, colored pencils. Even if you have watercolor paints, you can paint yours. Anything you have at your disposal to color with, you can. So I'm going to fast forward. You can hit pause, and let's color our pictures now. Okay, so here we go, and it's all colored. I used marker on almost everything except for the sky. I used blue colored pencil. I used the Prismacolors. On the sand, I couldn't find something that was, a good sand color. So what I did is I used kind of a peach colored Sharpie but it came out a lot pinker than I really wanted. So I colored the, but once you get it on there, you're kind of stuck with it. So I went ahead and colored the whole thing pink, basically. And then I took a peach Prismacolor and coated it with that. And I'm fairly happy with the color. It's not perfect, but I'm going to stick with it. I may take a white Prismacolor and go over this just to even and smooth out the sky. But for now, I think this will do for my example. And that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you look up some facts about the pyramids of Egypt. And I hope you also learn a little bit about triangular prisms, especially if you're in 3rd or 4th grade, because that is mathematically one of the things you should be learning about in math and be able to identify, especially by 4th grade. So I hope you have a great week. I hope everyone's doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.